You're seeing this because something in your story has reached a point it can't return from. Not because of luck, not because of coincidence, but because the path you've been walking has finally aligned with the moment you secretly prayed for when nobody was watching. You didn't stumble on this message, it was placed in front of you, because whether you realize it or not, you're standing at the doorway of your most powerful comeback. For a long time, life has been quiet for you, maybe too quiet. The kind of silence that doesn't feel peaceful, the kind that feels like a pause before a storm. You've been waiting, holding on, trying to trust the process, even when the process didn't give you anything to trust. Days where nothing made sense. Moments that felt like setbacks. People who left. Opportunities that slipped through your hands. You've looked at your life sometimes and wondered, why is everything taking so long? When does my turn come? But listen carefully. Your turn doesn't come when you want it. It comes when you are prepared for what you thought you were ready for. And the truth is, the version of you in the past wasn't ready. You weren't weak. You weren't incapable. You simply weren't built yet. And this silence, these delays, these detours, they were not punishments. They were construction phases. You were being rebuilt in private for a comeback that would only make sense in public. Think back. Remember all the times you felt like life was falling apart. What if it was actually falling into place, just not in the order you expected? What if every person who disappointed you was removed so your comeback wouldn't be slowed down by those who couldn't grow with you? What if every closed door was protection? What if every delay was direction? You didn't lose the opportunity. The opportunity wasn't ready for the version of you that you were becoming. That feeling you've had recently, the quiet push, the subtle shift, the strange sense that something is changing even though nothing looks different yet. That's the energy of a new chapter forming before your eyes. It always happens this way. Your spirit knows before your eyes can see. Your intuition senses before your reality catches up. Your energy rises before your environment reflects it. And right now, your energy is rising. Something inside you has begun to wake up again. Something you thought died. Something you thought you'd never feel again. A spark, a calling, a whisper that says, "Don't give up now. You're closer than you think." You may not see results yet, but your spirit knows the comeback has already begun. This is the part of your journey where you don't need to chase anything anymore. You don't need to force anything anymore. You're stepping into a season where what's meant for you will align naturally. Doors will open without you knocking. Opportunities will find you when you're doing absolutely nothing but being yourself. People will appear who speak your language. Situations will form that fit your purpose. And life will start to flow again, not fight you. You are entering the kind of comeback people talk about years later. The kind that doesn't just restore what you lost, but multiplies what you were meant to have. Everything you've survived has prepared you for this moment. Everything you've endured has strengthened something inside you that wasn't strong before. You've healed in ways you don't even recognize yet. You've grown in ways you haven't fully understood. But soon, you will see why the universe kept telling you, wait. Soon, everything will make sense. This is your turning point. This is your rise after the fall. This is the comeback you were destined to walk into. And that's why this message found you today. You've wondered why life went quiet on you, why people you trusted drifted away, why opportunities slipped through your hands, why your prayers seemed to echo back with no answer. You've sat with that silence, trying to make sense of a season that felt like nothing was moving. But listen, silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. The universe does its deepest work when everything around you feels still. You think nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, everything is shifting. You think you're losing momentum, but in reality, your life is resetting its direction. You think you're stuck, but you're being positioned. There were things you were asking for that required you to become a different version of yourself, a stronger version, a clearer version, a version that didn't settle out of fear, didn't chase out of insecurity, didn't shrink just to keep the peace. You needed this stillness to strip away what was never yours. The loneliness wasn't a punishment, it was a detox. The delays weren't rejection, they were alignment. Do you know why it hurt so much? Because the old version of you was dying, and endings always feel like pain when you haven't seen the rebirth yet. You didn't lose anything. You outgrew. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for daily cosmic insights, astrology updates, and spiritual guidance, because the universe always has a message for you. You outgrew the people who didn't see your value. You outgrew the environments that could not hold your potential. You outgrew the situations that were too small for your future. You outgrew the life you were forcing yourself to fit into. And as you outgrew all of that, life had to quiet down. Your spirit needed room to breathe again. It needed space to release every version of you that was built on survival, fear, and self-doubt. That's why you felt empty. That's why you felt disconnected. That's why you felt like something was ending, even though you couldn't describe what. You were shedding a past that your future has no space for. And now, that silence is breaking. You're beginning to feel energy again. You're beginning to feel hope again. You're beginning to sense movement in places that felt dead. This is the sign people ignore, the moment right before the comeback becomes visible, when your spirit rises before your circumstances catch up. When you feel the shift, even though nothing around you has changed yet, but it will change. And when it does, it will happen fast. So fast, you'll look back and realize the silence wasn't wasted. It was sacred. Your comeback needed this version of you. The world is about to see the strength you gained in the dark. There's a moment in every transformation where you are forced to meet the rawest, realest version of yourself. A moment where your strength is tested beyond anything you imagined. A moment where life bends you so far back that you're convinced you're going to break. And you did break, just not in the way you think. You didn't break down, you broke open. The pain you felt wasn't destruction, it was revelation. It showed you who was real. It showed you who was temporary. It showed you who you were without the masks, without the noise, without the distractions. You learned what it means to lose yourself, and then slowly, painfully, bravely, find yourself again. Every night you cried and told no one. Every moment where exhaustion made you question your worth. Every time you loved people who weren't ready to love you back. Every time life hit you harder than you thought you could survive. You held on, you kept going, you fought battles you never spoke about. And maybe no one noticed, but the universe did. There are certain blessings that only come to those who survived what should have destroyed them. Certain breakthroughs that only appear after you've walked through fire. Certain doors that open only when you've proven you can stay standing when everything tries to knock you down. You have no idea how many times life tried to break you, and you still rose. You survived betrayals that would have hardened most hearts. You survived disappointments that would have ended most dreams. You survived seasons where you had to be your own support, your own healer, your own strength. You don't realize it yet, but that version of you, the one who kept going when there was no guarantee of anything getting better, is the reason your comeback is going to be unstoppable. Because now, You're stronger than what broke you. You're wiser than what hurt you. You're braver than the moments that terrified you, and you're softer, not because you're weak, but because you refuse to let the world turn your heart cold. The truth is, you didn't just survive. You evolved. You were being stretched, reshaped, and refined into someone who could handle what you've been asking for. You prayed for growth, and life gave you hardship. You prayed for strength, and life gave you challenges. You prayed for a breakthrough, and life gave you silence. But now, you are ready. Ready for the life that once felt too big. Ready for the blessings that once felt out of reach. Ready for the opportunities that once terrified you. Ready for the love, the success, the peace, the expansion you used to think belonged to others. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment your story deepens. This is the moment the plot shifts. This is the moment your comeback begins to reveal itself. The breaking was necessary, because without it, you would have never discovered what you're truly made of. There comes a moment in every comeback where the air around you changes. It isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, it's subtle, like a whisper you can't unhear, like a pull you can't ignore. You've been feeling it lately, that quiet confidence, that strange clarity, that unexplainable sense that something is aligning, even if nothing looks different yet. This is the energy of your rise. Your spirit is stepping into a frequency your life hasn't caught up to yet. And that's why you feel this mixture of anticipation and calm. You're not chasing anymore, not begging, not forcing, not fighting for what doesn't belong to you. You've stopped running after things that ran from you. You've stopped shrinking to fit places that were too small. You've stopped accepting connections that drained you. That wasn't weakness. That was awakening. You're no longer trying to prove yourself, because deep down, you've finally started to understand who you are. And when you understand who you are, you stop tolerating what never deserved you. That alone is a rise. But here's what you don't see yet. The world around you is adjusting to the new version of you. People who never valued you will suddenly realize your absence feels different now. Opportunities that once ignored you will start circling back. Doors that felt permanently closed will begin to unlock, as if someone on the other side was waiting for you to return. Your energy is no longer desperate. It's aligned. And aligned energy attracts what fear-based energy repels. Your comeback doesn't start when everything changes. Your comeback starts when you change, and you already have. You've changed quietly, slowly, deeply, into someone more grounded, more intuitive, more aware of your worth. You've learned when to walk away, when to speak up, when to stay silent, when to protect your energy instead of giving it away freely. That wisdom is why everything is shifting now. Soon, the opportunities you prayed for will arrive without you needing to chase them. Soon, you'll look around and realize you're surrounded by the right people, not the right now people. Soon, you will wake up one morning and feel a peace that makes you wonder how you ever lived without it. And people will ask you, what changed? How did everything fall into place so suddenly? But they'll never understand. Nothing happened suddenly. It happened silently, within you, long before it became visible. Your rise is not coming. Your rise is here. You can feel it in your bones, even if you can't see it with your eyes. This is the season where everything starts aligning, not because of luck, not because of timing, but because you finally became the version of yourself that your future has been waiting for. The shift is real, the rise is real, and the comeback is already in motion. This is the part no one prepares you for, the moment after the suffering, after the breaking, after the waiting. When life finally hands you the chapter you were born to live, and it won't come quietly, your comeback will not look like a small improvement or a gentle shift or a lucky break. No, your comeback will arrive like a storm, sudden, undeniable, impossible to ignore. It will sweep through every area of your life and rearrange everything that once felt stuck, blocked, or broken. Things will start happening so quickly, you'll barely have time to process them. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. People will show up with timing so perfect it feels supernatural. Connections, chances, blessings, all aligning at once. And you will know, without a single doubt, this is the moment everything I went through starts to make sense. Because your comeback isn't just about getting back what you lost. It's about receiving what was always meant for you. The love you didn't think you deserved, the opportunities you once felt unqualified for, the peace that felt impossible, the strength you never knew you had, the clarity you begged life to give you, the confidence that comes from surviving everything designed to break you. You are not returning to your old life. You are stepping into a life that is entirely new. People who underestimated you will watch in disbelief. Life will return everything that was taken, multiplied. Your spirit will expand into the version of yourself you've been growing toward for years. And you will realize something powerful. You were never waiting on the universe was waiting on you, waiting for you to heal, waiting for you to let go, waiting for you to choose yourself, waiting for you to rise. And now, you have. This is why this message found you, because you are aligned with everything you once feared would never happen, because your energy is finally matching your destiny, because your future is no longer drifting toward you, it is running toward you. Your comeback will be loud, it will be clear, it will be undeniable, not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were chosen for a story much greater than the chapters you've survived. So when things begin to accelerate, and they will, remember this. You earned this rise. You earned this peace. You earned this strength. You earned this chapter. Your comeback isn't a coincidence. It is a promise, one that life is now ready to fulfill. This is the moment everything changes. This is the moment you step into who you were always meant to become. This is the moment your comeback becomes your rebirth. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what's already unfolding for you.